Doodlebud here. There's something in the fountain pen world that can stress out users quite a bit, and that is finding what we call the perfect pairing. When you get a new pen, or perhaps break out one you haven't used for a while, the big decision comes now, what ink should I put in this? Now, most of the time, I actually don't care that much, but there's some pens where I feel there has to be a specific pairing for it. And this pen here, this is the Ensso Piuma. This is in Urushi. It's an absolutely gorgeous pen. I've used some nice black inks in here before. I've done the Platinum Chokuro, which is a super, super dark black ink, but I love the notes of red in this pen. And I found an ink for this one that I feel is a perfect pairing. You get a little bit of ink on the nib. I actually like that on pens sometimes. Some folks have to have their nib 100% clean all the time, but I find with this pen getting a little bit of ink on the nib with the black, but also the vermilion underneath, that just complements the pen, steps it up a little bit more. I'll tell you which ink it is in here. Maybe you want to guess before I reveal what it is. We'll do some writing samples on a few different papers, and then I have a couple pens in the back. I have a few inks selected, but also maybe you can suggest some other ones to try. So let's get started. So I have a recent video where I did my top pairings, maybe my top 10. This is a pairing I wanted to feature in that video, but I didn't have the ink handy. It was in my storage locker. I had to downsize my ink collection while our house is getting redone. Again, for the people who want to guess, you saw it's Diamine, so you probably already know. Diamine Writer's Blood. This is an ink. When I first got it, it was quite hyped up. People were raving about it. There was a lot of hype going around this ink when it first came on the marketplace. I was a little reluctant at first, but then I decided, let's get a bottle. I didn't get the small one, went for the big one. Why not? I think I got this from Cult Pens or something like that with an order a long time ago. And I have to tell you, I haven't used it that much. I put it in a pen when I first got it, all excited. I actually like the color, but it's an extremely wet ink, and I found it almost unusable most of the time. So the ink has sort of gone unused, haven't used it a bunch, but then when this pen came along, this Ensso Piuma in Urushi, especially with that little bit of red underneath, I ditched the Platinum Chokuro, filled it with Writer's Blood, and this is the pretty much only pen I use this ink with. So it's sort of nice I'm actually getting to use this giant bottle of ink now. So let's get writing with it. We'll get out a few different papers, and we'll show you what this one looks like. And while I'm doing that, maybe think to yourself, what is a perfect pairing that you have one ink in a certain pen that you don't think you'll ever change? Love to hear from you below. Here are the papers in order of appearance. This is Claire Fontaine, bit of a brighter white one. This is their note maker. After that will be my Muji. It's the B5 size, and this is their Japanese-made paper. Do not get the Indonesian-made paper. You have to get the Japanese stuff. We'll do another Claire Fontaine. It doesn't say on this book what it is, but this stuff is a bit of a creamier color one. There's one book that they have. It's called the Flying Spirit paper, and it looks very similar in color, but that's the regular Claire Fontaine. This is this stuff a little bit creamier. This is the new Tomoe River 52 GSM. So you can see similar type of color, a little bit darker. Do a little bit on there, and then finally wrapping it up. This is a Regalia notebook I have. It will most likely bleed on here, but it does really show off colors. I've been wanting to use this pen and ink combo for quite some time, but this bottle of ink was in my storage locker, and it was a mess trying to find it. But finally, we had to go back again and get all the winter coats and rain boots and everything for the kids, and I made a mission to find it, so I did. I'm going to do a little quote here. So this is something, I don't know, it just occurred to me a few months ago, something I'm trying to tell myself when I need to do things that I need to do. Maybe I finish a workout and I really should go do 30 minutes on the treadmill. I try to tell myself that all the time. Don't expect to get results from work you didn't do. Something I tell myself when I'm struggling to get something done or not motivated to do what I should do. And it's a bit of a reality check, checking with myself. You got to do the work if you want to get the results. So that's my quote for the day. You'll see it a few times here in this video. I am recording at the moment. People are going to hear you digging in the wrappers from the leftover Halloween candy.
You know what? Let them. Oh, they can have these boxes.
I hope I was able to get you a good look at the inks and all the different papers there. But yeah, this Regalia, it's quite different. It really changes the color and it's really nice to write with. However, it doesn't handle stuff as much. And also fingerprints, if you are writing like this and you got sticky hands or whatever it is, this stuff really picks up those greasy prints quite a bit. I really do like this creamier Clairefontaine. It's quite enjoyable. I love the color that it shows and just changes it a little bit. Tomoa River, you can see fairly close to it, a little bit different, but this paper I find is easier to work with. And then my pretty much daily use is my Muji stuff. I just love it. It's not the most perfect paper in the world, but it's affordable. And it does a really good job. It's nice and smooth, and I love the whole book. Actually, let me show you a little trick with those refills really quick. There's that bright white Clairefontaine. So how you load and unload these books is so handy dandy. You just slip it in like that, close it up, and you're good to go. I was in a meeting last night. I was at a conference, and I was doing some stuff, and then in between I found a page my daughter was writing with, so I wanted to get rid of that page. So all I did, you just go along, open up to that page, and I just went in here. It was in the middle of a meeting. I might have even done this in my lap or something like that. The seating wasn't the best. Put these back in, and away we go. It's just so good. So that's that pairing done. Here are a couple pens in the background. I got to think of an ink to go with. Now, normally I don't care too much, but I thought maybe I'll reach out to the audience here. These are the Gravitas Monster with some new materials and finishes. So both of them now have titanium in the cap and the knobs here, also in the barrel. I really like how these feel in the grip with that grooving that he's got. This particular one, this is a stone finish. I believe it's bead blasted, micro bead blasted. And then we have an Ultim barrel. And then this other one, this has got the acrylic, but this is the T-Syncs coating that's on here. So it's a blue with a little bit of purple. Sometimes you get a hint of a gold. So really, really nice coatings. Here's the challenge though. I recently did a video of inks that I sort of wish I never bought, or my most regrettable inks. I forget exactly what I called it now. I had to pack a small number of inks before we moved into this temporary place while our house is under construction. The rest went into my storage locker, and I only kept a few extras. So what has happened is I have a very high ratio of inks I don't like at my disposal and only a few that I actually do like. So trying to find, great matching inks that I enjoy is a little tricky right now. The obvious pick would be this KWZ sheen machine, but here's the thing. I don't like sheening inks. I really don't. Especially like super sheeners, I kind of hate them. It almost felt good saying that and just getting that off my chest. They're just too much trouble for what they're worth. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I only have a few at my disposal. This is what I'm going to go with, I think. So I got the Graphon Faber-Castell Stone Gray, and this is their Stone Wash. So yeah, there's a reason I made sure to keep that ink handy with me. Now this ink doesn't really matchy. But this particular one here, I believe this one has the broad nib. Oh, this has the extra fine. This one has the broad nib. This will be good to show off the shading. This ink has some good shading, but this little nib also has some nice flex to it. It's a little bit bouncy. So I'm hoping I'll be able to show some shading with this ink and pen setup. It's just so much easier to clean this stuff out. Anyways, those are what I think I'm going to go with. I'd love to hear from you. What would you put ink-wise in these pens if they were sitting in front of you? Let me know down there in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Hit a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, potentially join. Catch you next time.